Hey, BB fam, welcome back to the Secret Society of Superfans, your go-to for all things reality television in your current BB27 headquarters. I am your host, Sarah Talks, and today we're diving into this wild, twisty week of BB27. And we're going to go over this last week, where we left off last week with the HOH. And yes, stick around for the end, because then we're going to go behind the scenes into the feeds with some very spoiler heavy updates. But first, they are BB TikTokers you all love who have not got a one-way ticket to Block City. My friends and co-host, Sammy and Nicolette. How are you guys?
I'm doing awesome, and I'm having so much fun with the feeds this season.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, I just want to race through like the recaps because I just want to get to the feeds because the episodes are doing the feeds like zero. I mean, zero.
God, I know.
Oh, it's terrible.
Zero justice.
Mm-hmm. Do you?
It is terrible.
I don't know if it's something to jump into or not, but do you think that part of that is because of this Friday special? The special episodes where are they saving some of that good feed content for just those special episodes?
You know, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. I guess we'll find out after Friday. So for those of you listening who don't know, this Friday marks the start of the BB Unlocked, which they did last season with like Taylor, Jag. This year, it's going to be Taylor and Derek. They are going to be having a Friday episode every other Friday, I think after Sun, but for Big Brother, and bi-weekly, not weekly. They're promising like behind the scenes, extra footage, something about a draft. We'll check it out. But they've got this Friday to show me like they have plenty to work with that they haven't showed on the episodes. So without spoiling it for those of you who like do check out before we get to spoilers. But they have plenty to work with. So I guess we will find out this Friday if they just shit the bed on that. My expectations are as low as they could possibly go. So I don't know about you guys. I mean, I love Taylor. So excited.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, no, I surely agree as well.
I don't know if I talked about, probably not. I don't know. I don't forget what I talked, but did I tell y'all what Taylor came into one of my lives this week?
Yes, and I'm still.
I think I told you off camera.
Envy.
So Nicolette, I've been going live like in the mornings when get ready with me, or sometimes just I'm getting caffeinated in the morning. What's up? Let me talk about what happened overnight. And I've been going live like lunch and live feeds. So whenever I sit here and eat lunch, we watch live feeds and stuff. Well, actually Cameron's been coming in every day. Cameron Harden's been popping in every day. But anyway, I'm sitting there looking like an absolute fucking toe. I mean, I have no makeup. I am in a baggy t-shirt. My hair is probably hasn't been brushed in 2 days. I know you can't read it on camera, but I didn't even brush my teeth yet. Like I was looking like a total toe, the big one, unpedicured. And there comes Taylor Hale up in the comments, and I marked out. I did, and I, of course, told her how much we loved her, and for her season, I was a total stan account. And we were having like Lay's parties and stuff for her. And she said that she appreciated me. And then I just like looked at the camera, like, cause when you're live, your face is the whole screen. So I'm seeing this is how Taylor Hale and I are communicating for the first time. And I haven't stopped thinking about it since. So, but I am excited to see her.
I'm sure she's seen all of your other videos where you did not look like a toe.
Exactly.
So I'm sure she's seen you at your best and at your maybe not feeling so best. So she was happy either way, I am sure.
Well, your girls had a full beat every single day since. So I learned my lessons. Anyway, for those of you, I did tell a few people in my lives, we were going to have a special guest tonight. Heather Rich from The Circle will be joining us. She unfortunately got called into work, and she will be joining us her very next Monday that she doesn't have to work. So she is a big huge Big Brother fan, so we were really excited to have her, but unfortunately, it's not this episode. That being said, let's get into it. So where we left off was the HOH. We then went on, and if you're watching this, let's be honest, you've watched the episodes, you kept up with it, but we did ultimately see Amy and Kelly and Zay go into the BB Blockbuster, where Kelly pulled off a very impressive and quick, fast win with style and attitude. A little hip hop.
Loved it.
At the end.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Kelly is winning this season of Big Brother.
Shut
don't manifest that.
She is the season comp beast. She's the new Tucker, and she is for sure gonna be.
I'm gonna mark that because that needs to be in a fan edit for her, because the way she would just completely freak out that anyone compared her to Tucker.
Look how many comps she's won. She won the BB Blockbuster. She won a Power Up. Like there's just a lot.
I see look how well it worked out for Tucker last year, winning all those same similar comps. He took over the whole season, free jury.
That's true. She says she's gonna do a lot of crazy things, but doesn't really do them. So she is different from Tucker in that sense. But I mean, so far she's BB27's comp beast. So
yeah.
Oh my messenger.
So
I mean, I agree that she's going to be hard to get out. She is definitely a good competitor. They're going to have to keep taking shots if they actually want her out of the house. I do 100% agree with you there.
Which is another reason why, like, I don't like the BB Blockbuster. I didn't like it because of Tucker. I didn't like, I mean, a backdoor strategy, like, where's Nokomis? We're going to need her, like, input here, because, like, there's a reason the back door is such a beautiful strategy when executed, and until the BB Blockbuster goes away, it's not going to happen. It can't happen.
I just think that the BB Blockbuster, like, I'm fine with it being a new foundational element of the Big Brother game, but it really does not need to go all the way until jury or past jury.
Right.
Like the first couple weeks to avoid those really like big voting blocks to be created and to have that element of surprise come eviction night. Sure, I totally understand that. But then once we get to a point where there should kind of be some alliances formed and people would be able to actually work together to make some strategical moves in the game, that in the Blockbuster completely halts that from happening. That's where I kind of like have a problem with it.
I will say that this particular house is utilizing the BB Blockbuster a lot better than like for our entertainments than last season utilized the AI arena. I feel like the AI arena was like, okay, we just don't game at all until AI arena, and then we just use that little block. Like, and it was really, really hard to watch. And everyone was just scrambling last minute to decide, and we were still getting. So I feel like listening to them go through the different, listening to them go through like all the different voting blocks, that has been fun. That has been interesting. I still feel like we're still a little trigger shy to speak.
Yeah, that's the bigger problem, is that adaptability. But also, I also think that there's really no need for a backdoor like strategy anymore if the comps are equitable.
True.
Because, the only reason we've had comp beasts so prominently in other seasons is that there was basically one type of competition, and it was physical. We might throw in a little puzzle that you have to run to and climb up things to get to. You know what I mean? So I do like the BB Blockbuster in that sense, is that it truly does feel unpredictable. I just need the house guests to figure out strategy around it. And like how to really move forward with it.
I agree. I feel like we're getting really puzzle heavy, and I like a puzzle more than a physical comp. But if Reindeer Games showed us anything, it's that you have a long list of comp types in your bag.
Yes.
And I feel like we're only in week 2 and it's very, very puzzle heavy, which instead of seeing a physical comp beast, we could have a puzzle comp beast. And give me more crapshoots. Give me more slingshots and skee ball. Give me more like the random shakeups. Anyone could win it. And honestly, when we're watching it, when we have like the skee ball, do you remember? I was like on the edge of my seat because like Sari could have won that. You know what I mean? Like it was anyone's game. And for every round, we were just holding our breath. So, but when I went back and looked at the BB Bibles from the last 2 seasons, I think that there were only 2 crapshoots the entire season. And I feel like that's a disservice. I feel like we had more crapshoots in reindeer games than we did the entire season of BB26. Get what year we're in. But yeah, so that's all. Like, I mean, you're going to trade one type of comp beast for the other if they don't like diversify these comps some more. And I get it that there's only so much they can do with like a live timed comp, but I'm still very anti live time comp. I'm like, pre-record your BB breakdown, BB or Blockbuster and AI arenas. Pre-record the votes. Give me a live HOH comp. That feeds into the feeds.
With BB Blockbuster, I do miss live HOH comps because we're definitely not getting that when we have the BB Blockbuster, obviously. So that is one piece I really miss. But ultimately, I like the Blockbuster. I just wish people realize that the only way to really play it is to do it aggressively, and that's what it's trying to encourage. It's trying to encourage earlier aggressive play, because these last few years it's just been like, okay, we're all going to agree about this person and then we're going to agree about this person, but
I want to lay low and tell jury and then turn it up.
Yes.
So that being said, we skipping forward, that we did see Kelly win the BB Blockbuster. Zay did get voted out in a vote 9-5, with the biggest upset here being Riley's vote. Riley voted to evict Zay, and Riley is in the Burger Boys, so he should have been voting with them, and this caused some upset. He lied about his vote. I don't think anyone in the house knows, except for Catherine, but I don't think any of the Burger Boys know it was Riley. Keanu immediately put the blame on Will, which does play weird. Into very, I mean, was it?
Yeah, fair.
And so, I mean, it did cause some stuff. So when we're looking at players who some people are saying are doing too much too soon or doing too much at all, we get the Rileys in the mix. We even get Jimmy's in the mix. What would you say is that line between like playing aggressively in the beginning or playing too hard?
So I would argue that Riley isn't playing too hard or too aggressively. If anything, I think that vote was really stupid for his game. Even if no one finds out about it, you have to look at how power dynamics are in the house. And like just having 8 women to 7 men is dangerous inherently. You would at least want to make it even, so that there isn't that risk of like some kind of dominating alliance. I truly think this is all Kat. I think he just voted the way Kat wants him to vote, which is a super good tool for Kat. Not such a good tool for Riley.
And I say that because there is like an argument in the Discord going on that Riley did this. It was a very smart move. He's getting a lot of kudos for this move because he saw Zay as more of a competitor, which I mean, let's be honest.
Zay's no Kelly.
No, by any means. But Amy, so
I mean, why would Riley, who has openly said he doesn't care about winning competitions, doesn't win competitions, why would he vote in order to eliminate a competitor? It just doesn't jive with all the other things that he's been saying. This is 100% Kat told him what to do and he followed.
Yeah.
100%.
No,
And
I
think it's
agree.
gonna
I
bite
just
him in the
wanted to
ass
bring it up because it
ultimately.
is, I keep seeing
Right.
TikToks about it, and I know that this is the discussion, and we're painting him as some mastermind, strategic, amazing edit.
Absolutely not. No. I mean, I was shocked
But-
that he did it, but I immediately
Sure.
knew why he did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's cat whipped.
Exactly. I was trying to find a good way to say that, but yes.
I mean, it's
your
our
question,
podcast. I can say pussy, but her name's Cat, so it just plays into
yeah,
that.
it
So.
went perfectly. Yeah.
So Zay is evicted. Can we talk just briefly on Zach's reaction to this?
No,
Yeah.
it was cuckoo. Like, that was crazy.
Is it acting? Is it genuine?
I do think it's genuine. Yeah.
Okay.
I do too. I think it's
I
genuine.
had a lot of like not
what
a tear in sight comments, like it was acting. And
No, I fully believed it, but in my mind, I was like, what did we miss between Zach and Zay those first several days of feeds? Because I wasn't seeing anything that felt like it warranted this reaction on the feeds once we had them. So what did we miss?
He honestly just might be an eviction crier. Like, you know how there's just like people who cry, like who just get emotional during evictions? He just might be one of those people. Because I think it was genuine. I just don't think they were best friends.
I was fully expecting to log into the feeds the next day and see him at Beltic Shrine. Like,
yeah.
So
sitting here with my family, and I was watching him cry, and I was like, you guys, this is literally the most shocking part of the episode right now. Like, what is happening? What is going on?
I was pretty confused by it as well. And a part of me was like, is he emotional because he realized that, like, you know, he was kind of blindsided, I think, by the vote. I think he really thought they had the numbers, which they did at first. So maybe he was genuinely blindsided, and maybe it was a kind of a wake-up call that, like, he could go. Like, I don't know what it was.
That's true.
But
the thing is with the fallout and all the speculation of who flipped, which one of the Burger Boys was the most tight-lipped about his vote, so much that us feeders didn't even know which way he was going to vote because he was so tight-lipped about it and playing it so close to his chest. Why was he completely written out of all? Oh, it wasn't Riley. No, Riley for sure voted for his. Like,
well, in Will's defense, you know, I think he really took the Burger Boys very seriously as an alliance. I think it's one of the only alliances he legitimately, like, believed in. So I think in his mind, the obvious answer was that Kelly was a number for the girls all along. And almost like infiltrated. You know what I mean? So I think that's like kind of more of where his like paranoia and also weird loyalty to Riley was. I think it's less to do with Riley himself and more that I think Will doesn't realize that all the dudes he's aligned with are in like 20 alliances and like have not really secured or solidified anything. So that's what I think was the domino effect.
I also think that Will's allegiance to the Burger Boys is the only reason that he stuck with voting that way, even though he knew he was going to be on the wrong side of the vote. Because I agree with what Sammy just said. I think that was Will's like true most confidence alliance that he had been a part of. And so he was trying to stick to that. And yeah, it's not going to work out well, I don't think.
No. That brings us to the HOH episode. Yes. And the mastermind has struck again. By the way, place your bets? Do you think that there's an alumni under the mask, or is this just a character like Ainsley?
I think it's just a character, personally.
I think it's just a character, but I think he looks like Boston Rob. Like, and it's like really honestly distracting to me that I'm like, every time he comes on, I'm like, Boston Rob, what you doing here? Like,
I'm gonna have to rewatch it now. I've never thought this before.
He had like the way he talks is like Boston Rob too. So like it's very distracting to me.
Oh my god. I love the fact that Mickey finds two men in Big Brother this season attractive, and it's Riley and the mastermind. Um,
Same.
Brad
No, I'm
Pitt.
just kidding. Not Riley.
Oh Lord.
Not Riley.
I swear to God, it's a different man on the feeds. When I watch the episodes and see the DRs and see Riley, that is not the guy that's on the feeds. They look completely different. And
They
I'm
do
not
look
saying it's a
completely
twin
different.
twist. But if
Oh, God.
who Mickey's looking at is the guy on the feeds, yeah, sure. He's super cute. And then he gets in the DR and I'm like, who is this? Who is this man's who I only see on the episodes in the DR because he looks completely
It's
different.
kind of like, who was it? Oh, Frank whatever on BB14 specifically, how he always like blinked a lot and he was like, I'm not like
Yes.
that in my real life. Riley must be having a very similar like eye reaction in the
Like deer
diary
in
room.
headlights in the diary
Yeah.
room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So the mastermind, they see, by the way, that was the creepiest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that there was no house guest in the house when they filmed that, and they probably just tousled the beds around and make it look like they were in there. I get it.
Right.
But in the moment, I was buying the bit. I was buying the bit that they were sleeping in their beds. And my immediate reaction was the shit I would have shat, the scream I would have scrumped. Had I woken up to see that in the house in the middle of the night, I wouldn't get me out of the DR. I would self-evict. I don't know that I could sleep in that house again. That was scary. That was creepy. But he goes in and we find out that all of this like speculation over these saves and Pandora's, but it was all for this bit. He stole powers and the HOH key out of these safes. So we go into the dark challenge, the sewers themed HOH. Really funny. I've always really enjoyed this comp. I feel
Same.
like they could always do better with the editing in this comp. Is pretty poorly edited. And it seems to go on too long. Give me a highlight reels of people busting their ass and bumping into each other and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
I don't need to hear like I went into here and then there was this one barrel and then I dug in this barrel and there was nothing in there. And so then I went and like, I don't need all that.
We don't
Like,
need
no
all
one's
that.
asking for all that. But
I agree.
in the dark room, they released like there's the HOH power. And I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. And 3 powers have been placed out in the sewers. And they let Vince participate. So the outgoing HOH was able to participate in the comp, but only for the powers. Agree or disagree? How do we feel?
I mean, I feel
agree.
the fact that he couldn't, yeah, exactly. He couldn't win the actual HOH again.
Yeah.
So it's still following the rules. And we
Yes.
know now that we've gotten the information on the powers, that those powers, they're going to last a hot minute. So it seemed more fair to me to let him participate for the powers than to not.
Agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in past, when they have given out powers during HOH comps, the outgoing HOH just misses out on those powers. This is their game. Expect the unexpected and expect the fucking rules to change. And so, like, I'm at the camp that, like, this is their show. They can do what they want. Had it been now, ask me if it was season 25 and Jag was the outgoing HOH, how I felt about it. You know, like I'd probably feel a lot different. But it is what it is. I didn't really have an initial problem with it, as long as they keep it up, as long as that's like the rule.
Yeah, as long as it's consistent, then like
yeah,
totally fine. I wouldn't have loved if he had won the like HOH takeover and then took it over that same week, because I'm a Big Brother purist in that the HOH cannot be the HOH twice in a row. So that would have irritated me, no lie. But I do agree that they're long lasting powers. They're really like big powers. So I do think it's fair.
And on top of that, Zach already like still has a big power. So we're releasing 3 powers.
And they don't even know about that.
There's already a big one out there that no one knows about.
Yep. There's a lot of powers.
It is so many powers. It's like Abigail said it in my comments. It's like the Idol Mageddon from Survivor, you know?
Oh yeah.
nuts, and it's hard to keep up with. So let's, break these down for you guys.
Yeah.
There was an HOH key in there. There was a second veto, chance to win a second veto. There was also double that they did not explain it well on the episode. They explained it a lot better in the diary rooms. Because it sounded like Keanu and Kelly both want spoiler, but they, in the episode, Keanu and Kelly win these vetoes, and it sounded like they both got second vetoes. It's just one's a second chance, one's double the chance. So the primary differences here is I would compare them to Kelly's was like the Janky World veto.
Yeah.
Where they participate in the veto, and Leah got the opportunity to play a solo competition to win the Janky veto. She lost it. She didn't win it, but that's like the equivalent to what Kelly won. Keanu won one similar to Kylan's power that he won in like the casino challenges, where he could play in the veto, but he could also bet on another player. And picked a player to also participate in the veto. And if that player won, he won. Like it was him and someone else both competing. So doubling his chances of getting it. The caveat, the difference in this season is that he actually got a Big Brother alumni to come in and play for him, which we'll get to in just a minute. And then there was basically a coup d'etat. The coup d'etat is back. We see it every season. It's been called many, many things. But Mickey wins the coup d'etat. And in this particular variation of it, when Mickey activates the HOH takeover, the current head of household will then get 3 minutes with every house guest to interrogate them. And then place a guess, traitor style, because we're just kind of leaning into all this traitor success
100%.
To make an accusation as to who it is. If they get it right, Mickey's power is null and void, and they can put Mickey up on the block if they want to. If they get it right, if they get it wrong, Mickey is then put in the HOH, and not secretly, not anonymously, not in the cloud. So either way, once it's played, they're going to find out. It's just, are they going to find out and she's vulnerable, or are they going to find out and she's the HOH?
Yeah.
I think it should be a secret HOH, but.
I do too, because this is kind of one of those things that if she uses the power, it's bad for her regardless. Because if they do, first of all, if you want to tell people about it, you really can't, because that might be the HOH that you want to overthrow. So there's that piece of it. But then there's also the piece of like, once the HOH is wrong, you basically have to stand up and be like, look how well I lied. Look how well I did not tell you guys this. And then
I totally fucked you over
publicly. And now so it's nice to have if she needs it, but it's not a power I would use unless like I had to.
Back to the wall. Yeah, absolutely.
I really do think with Mickey's power, when we first started hearing about it, I thought that the kind of like interrogation element was really a cool spin on this power. But then I just do not like the part about if they guess wrong, that she's revealed. I feel like if the HOH guesses wrong,
you're like breaking out real bad, yo.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, and I agree. I think that this is just risky either way. So I feel like an in the cloud coup d'etat, like behind the scenes, is always like a more effective tool. Now, I do like the interrogation part and that part of it, because it does encourage keeping this a secret. And in years past, in these especially recent seasons, no one can keep their mouth shut about their powers, including Mickey. Kelly immediately told everybody. Keanu told half the house. And Mickey told Morgan. That's it. Mickey just told her number one, Morgan. And people were like, no, what if Morgan tells? That's her final two. That's her number one.
Yeah.
And if they play this right, this is Mickey and Morgan. And now Morgan, which we just saw in the episode, Zach suspected Mickey of getting it because of his proximity to her during the challenge. Morgan, and as I've just a little feed spoiler, has been able to make him look elsewhere. But no, she for sure didn't get it. She would tell me immediately. I know for a fact she didn't get it. Rachel has said the same thing to people too. So I think all suspicion is really off of Mickey, and they're actually throwing other names around about it. If they play this right, when Mickey activates this power, when she's getting ready to, Morgan can confide in someone she has it and that she's planning on using it. Someone who's maybe a little loose-lipped, or maybe Morgan just acts shady or something like that. The HOH then guesses Morgan as the person. Guess what? You're wrong. Mickey gets to be HOH. Exactly. It's a great strategy to go about it. So having a partner in this is really, really, it's a good thing to have a partner in this.
You can have a look over here.
Yep. Correct. All right. So all of these powers are I heard, but who won HOH? None other than Jimmy. I was manifesting this, actually. I was actually manifesting either a Jimmy or a Rachel HOH. Yeah. I needed this. I needed the mess. I need the camp. Jimmy is prancing around the house in a HOH robe, corset, and black leather gloves. Like, I'm here for it. I wanted to hear your thoughts on, like, what do you, like, what was this a good outcome for you? Were you disappointed? Were you scared? What were your initial reactions to a Jimmy HOH?
I was also manifesting either a Jimmy or a Rachel HOH because I feel like we were just leading up to a lot of mess towards the end of last week. And I was like, let's just go ahead and continue on and amp it up a little bit. So yeah, I was overall excited to see what this week was going to bring with Jimmy at the top of the house.
Same. I wanted him or Kelly to win HOH. Manifesting a Kelly HOH, manifesting it.
I would have to take the week off work.
Truly.
Yeah.
My live feed updates would be like, I don't even fucking know anymore. Let's go watch the feeds and find out what's going on this minute. I don't know. Kelly put herself on the block, guys. Kelly's like, would it be crazy? Hear me out. Vince, my number one. Me and you on the block together while I'm HOH.
She will 100% say that. If you have a bingo card, put it on there because she will actually say that. I firmly believe it.
Oh my God. I want to make a Kelly bingo card. Oh my God, Sarah, that was so
Anytime
funny.
she swings her sweater around, I'm just like, I feel like our girl's stimming and I'm here for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wanted a Jimmy HOH or Rachel HOH. Honestly, give me any season. No offense. You could be the nicest, sweetest, feminist forward bros, but I'm sorry. I'm nothing if I'm not anti-bro alliance. And so, like, burger boys, immediately no. Immediately no. You have boys in your alliance name, so I'm in, like, it's just a gut reaction, I can't help it. So I wanted to see them kind of tremble because they were really feeling themselves last week. So I wanted this kind of switch up. I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. But Jimmy, a messy HOH, while there's approximately 57,432 powers in the house.
And he knew like who had 2 of the 3 powers.
I loved that he just sat next to one of the wells and was like trying to figure out.
Very so smart.
Jimmy loved it.
Probably the smartest move he made all week was sitting next to that.
One would argue. Yeah.
Well, bringing back to what you were talking about earlier about like being aggressive versus like doing too much.
Yeah.
Jimmy, that line is like a week ago for Jimmy.
He's just all over that line.
And look, I love that he put the people with powers up because like I always want that. I always root for that. Because 1, chaos. 2, it's what I would do because I would be that person in the Big Brother house. Except I would have only put 1 of them up because I don't want to make like a bunch of renoms. So considering how many renoms are potentially going to happen this week, and for him to use that strategy, I think was a little arrogant, if you ask me. And I think
Oh
if you're going
yeah.
to put up those many nominations, you might as well throw like a hard hitting one up there. Like Adrian's a hard hitting one, but like, I mean,
But
Amy,
he
Will,
does have the
Kelly.
like distinct advantage of being early. It is early enough in the game, Jimmy, to where even if you have to nominate 6 people, you have an entire other side of the house. If
Literally, yeah.
he literally spent the first week established. Yes, he did build some connections on, but this house is split in two. Let's be honest.
100%.
Jimmy might has some connections on one side, but he's clearly on the Rachel and the girls side of the house, right?
1,000%, yes.
So why would all of your nominees not come from one side of the house? And let's get into his
Exactly.
noms.
Yes.
Because it's wild. His first nominees were Kelly and Keanu wanted to flesh out the powers. And then he's like, Amy. Oh, not Amy. Sorry, not
Adrian.
Amy. Adrian. Told Adrian, hey, buddy, I need you. You're good at comps. I need you up there. I need a pawn. No, you don't. You don't need a pawn. I felt like Adrian could have fought harder. I'd be kicking and screaming. I would be doing threats. I would be doing all the things. I don't know how those would go over on Adrian. Adrian might have a better read on Jimmy's reaction, and maybe that's why he did. But he was like, I don't want to be a pawn. I feel like there's plenty of other options. Pawns do go home. I don't want to do that this week. And Jimmy just wasn't having it. But I do like Adrian didn't volunteer and he didn't go down without a fight. Like he made his displeasure known. So I felt like Adrian handled himself really well in this conversation where Jimmy's like breaking the news to him that he was going to go up. But why put up Adrian?
That, I think, if Adrian stays, which I do think is likely, I think that is going to be Jimmy's downfall
Yeah.
of his game.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes,
Adrian
absolutely.
will win HOH. It's like a matter
Yes.
of time. And now you just gave this little dude who's trying to keep it cool right now, fuel to the fire to like way try to get HOH now. And also Adrian is a good social player as well. And so like I think that we're going to see a lot of webs start forming, and I think Jimmy's going to be unable to escape it.
Yes. So that's when we're going to get into spoilers. So
Yes.
I want to announce the spoiler alert and put a little ticker up here. If you do not want any live feed spoilers, you can bounce now. But I'm pretty sure everybody here is here for the spoilers as well. So we saw the noms. We get to like who's playing what. But leading up to this too was very confusing because all the power talk and like who's going to do what and how it's going to work out. Keanu did play his power and activate his power at the veto picks. So when they drew players to play in the veto. And that is when we found out that the alumni that did play in the veto for him was none other than season 20 winner Casey. Challenge Casey, Comp Beast Casey. People were talking about like, what if it's Brendan? What if it's Tucker? What if it's Angela? What if everyone? I don't think I saw a single spoiler where anyone was guessing Casey.
No.
But if you're gonna have Casey. A champion come in for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she definitely fits or checks all the boxes to be the person to choose. I was just surprised to see her come back to Big Brother because she seems to have kind of separated herself out a little bit and been more so focused on the challenge. I'm excited to watch her compete on the episode on Wednesday, honestly.
Me too.
Same.
I also love this power. Like, I wish they would do more things like this because it is fun. And I love that. Oh, we're in the spoiler zone, so I can say it. And I love that she won.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, that's really satisfying. Because if she, played and didn't win, like, it's still cool and all. But, like, it's, like, uniquely fun that she won.
So yeah, I think that's what I like about this power is that, like, it's not a guarantee. bringing that alumni back, they can still very much lose. It sounded like Adrian was pretty close for a while to beating her.
Yeah.
So
yes, I heard that like Adrian
back.
was like neck and neck the whole time. Do we know what the competition was? Like,
I haven't been able to put it together. It sounds like
has something to do with Lucky
Ready,
Charm
Set, Whoa.
shapes.
There was also something to do with like buttons, because I kept hearing people talk about false starting, which was giving me like the Ready, Set, Whoa competition.
Yeah.
But then I also heard them talking about jumping. So I am lost on what the competition was, to be honest.
A lot of talk about shapes today too.
Yeah.
And it took me a while. I was like, wait, are they talking about the veto? Because the shapes in the sewers. But then they were talking like hearts and stars. And I was like, I don't think there were any hearts and stars in there. But it sounded like they were talking about Lucky Charms. I mean, seriously, when they were talking about like all these different shapes and they were holding them and stuff. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what it is.
I'm really excited for that episode.
Skippy's always like done nothing but piss me off. And like really, Skippy gets under my skin in a very much the way Keanu gets under Rachel's skin. And today was exceptional because it's like anytime someone was talking about the competitions, talking game, or doing anything, we had all 4 cameras on nothing. On someone doing dishes, on someone when there was a whisper conversation in the bunk room today and they cut away from it, put all 4 cameras on Kelly eating cereal in the kitchen by herself. Like I
Legend.
was
what an icon.
Livid. What an icon.
Get it, girl. Get it, Tucker 2.0.
Tucker 2.0. Oh,
I'm really playing into her delusion. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really. Anyway,
I love this journey for you, and I'm glad I get to witness it. And I support this journey for you. Not mine, not my journey, but I love this for you. So then Kelly's power is where it gets kind of confusing because when it sounded like at the veto ceremony, Kelly was going to play her power and then was going to go and compete and do all the things. And when the feeds came back up after the veto ceremony, it sounded like not only did she play and win and use it for a minute, but they were all hypothetically talking. We found out about 30 minutes after the feeds come on. No, she hasn't played it. She didn't get to activate it yet. Or she activated it, but she has to go and do her thing. And they kept calling it to go and do Kelly's thing. Long story short, Kelly wins. She gets her power. She gets her second veto. At one point, she said, wouldn't it be funny if I use it on you, Adrian? And then you come off the block, and then I'll just win the BB blockbuster.
I was praying that she was going to do it. I was praying.
NGL, me too. Me too. That's what I wanted. It's really what I wanted.
Honestly, I feel like if Adrian would have said, oh my gosh, I would be so appreciative. Like, yes, save my life. I'm really struggling. I think she would have done it.
Yep.
Honestly, I feel like or no, I mean, appreciative, maybe. But the winning phrase for Kelly would have been like, oh my God, what a Tucker move. Oh my God, that's true. Such good TV. That would be so good. You would get so many followers.
It'd be epic. It would be the biggest
legendary
thing to happen all season.
Epic.
Like, can you imagine how shocked America would be?
They will be talking about that for seasons.
Yeah.
Years to come. Yes. That's how you get Kelly to go, okay, done deal. Like here's the veto. It's all yours.
Love her. Kelly, she reminds me of Pearl.
Kelly is very much looking forward to the influencer life after Big Brother. Which is so surprising. I feel like I got catfished.
We all got. Kelly was by far. She misrepresented herself the most.
The most.
She said her strategy was to kill people with kindness.
Yeah. I mean,
is the kindness in the room? I have not seen a moment of kindness from Kelly.
Also, you know what? Theory.
Icon status, honestly.
If she wins, it's good for me. But I'm
glad that she
catfished.
Oh,
girl, my draft is It's
Mine's
embarrassing.
terrible as well.
It's embarrassing. Well, except for Mickey. I have Mickey. So pumped about
Okay,
that.
solid
Okay,
pick.
that's like all you need. I honestly think she's the most likely to win this season right now.
But I have Kelly, Keanu, and Zay.
Oh, good luck to you. You better root for Mickey. Yes, girl.
Oh my God, you
Or
want to switch? I'll
live
give
in
you Ashley
Sammy's
for Kelly.
delusion. Yeah.
Sarah, I'll give you Ashley for Kelly.
No, because no.
Come on.
No, because no.
No.
Solid
No
argument.
thanks. Yeah. So Kelly ultimately uses the veto on herself. Jimmy has put up Amy and Will in the Keanu and Kelly's place.
Yeah.
Will, I get. Will, there's suspicion, discord amongst the Burger Boys. I somewhat get it, but why pick the most popular of all the Burger Boys?
Literally.
The one that the girls love even? And
Yeah.
your alliance is saying, don't fucking do it. Then Rachel, who you're really close with, is saying, don't put Amy up. He's like, bet, I'm putting Amy up. And then we're even. They talked about Jenga for like an hour. And I didn't him and Amy talking about who owes whom what. And now we're even and not even. Like, no, bitch, that's not how. I was watching that and I was like, no, I'm sorry. You put me up. You're against me. Like, period. In a discussion. If I am expendable enough for you to risk my game by putting me up, whether it be for a pawn or just a warm body in the seats, I don't care where you are telling me the votes are. Because Jimmy's like, I would never do this if you didn't have the votes. I would never do this if you didn't have the votes. I'm sorry, you're still telling me I'm expendable and that you don't care if the votes flip or you don't care if I end up going home.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want to my face, but
100% agree. I also think that all the talks that he had with his alliance, and mostly when I say that, I personally am meaning like Rachel, Morgan, and Mickey, is he really did not take the time to really hear them out at all. It was an immediate shutdown. He did not want to hear their opinion. This is what I'm doing. It's too early to make a big move. There's not enough options left on the table when it's week 2. Like, get so real right now.
it's giving Hisam.
Yes.
100,000%.
Well, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they're gay.
No.
It's just straight up giving Hisam.
Also, nobody asked him to like flesh out the powers. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he fleshed out the powers and was like, look how great that was, and didn't think like, you have to make nominations, but you've spent the last week trying to align yourself with every alliance in the house. So now all 5 of your nominations are spread out through various alliances. So
you just pissed off the whole house.
Pissed at you for a separate reason. He should have thrown Riley on the block instead of Will. And he definitely should not have put Amy on there. I get why he did. I think he understands he needs to weaken the women a little bit.
He's not even very close with Zach. Why would you not put Zach up? Yes, we know Zach has.
That's what I'm most confused about, is why he didn't target Zach this week.
Because he's scared, even though he says that he's not. That's what it is.
And the fact that if he says, like, I'm just trying to get the least amount of blood on my hands, you just did a massacre.
Yeah.
Like,
a huge
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is Mike Myers level blood. Okay? Like, you have the most blood I think I've ever seen in Big Brother history. It would be hard. I mean, the list is very small as to like how much blood you actually have on your hands, because there's not a single person of the 5 besides Kelly that isn't out for Jimmy blood from these nominations.
Literally.
Exactly.
Well, not just that. I was going to say, all the people he put on the block, all 5 of them, are also who he perceives to be the weakest players. So I think that's why he has like justified it in his head that it has to be these ones, because, you know, they'll never win the comps to take him out. I don't think he's fully understanding that, at least so far, the comps have been pretty equitable. And an Adrian win is right around the corner. A Will win right around the corner. Amy's never gonna win. She's not
I don't
competitive
know.
enough to win. She just
A lot
doesn't
of
have
people
that like wolf in her, you know? That
that
like
is that's a
that
Mm.
fair
drive.
point. But I do think given a week off the block, if she survives this week, her given a week off the block and able to reset her mind back on that very first competition when Zach found Julie, there were only 3 people, Zach, Adrian, and Amy, that even completed their puzzle. And Amy was one of those people. So like there's something there where if she's given the time to actually get her mind in the right mindset, she might be able to pull out a win. But as
Well,
of right
half of
now,
them
she's
were throwing
completely
that
shut down.
competition.
That is a valid point as well. That's
Yeah.
true.
So like Morgan, for example, like went in and like immediately, like I'm gonna throw it.
Mhm.
I can't remember the
Ashley.
other two. Ash, yeah, they all like
Mhm.
threw it because I remember being
Mhm.
like, I would definitely want to win like this kind of comp because I knew that so many people would be throwing to be the easiest one to win.
True, true. I don't know. I think especially even given if we get some crapshoots. I mean, there's
Yes,
opportunity
yes,
there for
crapshoots for
Amy
sure.
to at least, do something. She at least got the puzzle done, even if it wasn't the quickest and some people were throwing it. She knew how to complete the puzzle. So there's a little bit of something there, a
Yeah,
possibility, a glimmer of hope. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but I also agree. I think you said it earlier, Sammy. Like if you get to a point where you have so much blood in your hands, why not take the biggest shot? Like it's
exactly.
not gonna hurt you anymore. Like everyone's coming after you anyways. You might as well at
Yeah.
least weaken that side a little
Well,
bit.
then you can, yeah, and you can at least justify it. I mean, like, I
Hmm.
feel like if Zach had been put up, it'd be really easy to explain, much like Zay. Like, there's a competitive factor, there's this, there's that. And I also feel like even people who don't have an issue with Zach, which is a lot of them, would still get it. They'd be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's funny, he's very charming, he's very sweet. He's good at competitions. He won already. Like, yeah, that makes sense. He could justify it. How the hell are you gonna justify Will? Like,
I
to
know.
whom? Will is one of the most beloved people in the
Can you imagine if
house.
he had put up Zach? He would have at least fleshed out 3 of the
Yeah.
powers in one
Yeah, and he didn't even
HOH.
know. Yeah, although I
I
don't think
know.
Zach would use it. Not if he was
Oh,
up
I
against
don't
really?
like
I don't
Amy.
either. It depends on it depends on who would have been the other nominee. But yeah,
Mm,
if he was there with Amy and Adrian, I think he would be pretty confident in
Yeah,
one beating them in the AI arena or whatever it's called,
BB
BB
Blockbuster, yeah.
Blockbuster. Or two that he would have the votes to stay. And I do think that would be true. I think he would have the
Yeah.
votes.
yeah.
Um, so before we get into like where the votes currently stand, I want to talk a little bit about the drama because we've had some tension, we've had some
Yes.
cattiness, we've
Mhm.
had some
I
drama.
haven't loved it
First,
either.
it hasn't been, no, it
Too
just hasn't
sad.
It's
been,
been like a little bit too petty to
Yeah,
be
it's been a little
enjoyable.
too mature for me.
yeah, yeah.
I need Josh and Mark in a tutu yelling at each other. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is too grown up. This is grown
Yes.
up yelling. And I feel like it's less entertaining, but I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. Like on a
Mhm.
human level, way to go and be grown ups. But for feeds, I'd like you to throw some mustard at someone. But
Yes.
so Keanu and Rachel are not seeing eye to eye. I feel like everyone has experienced a relationship like this where you feel like it's very one sided, where like you're trying to befriend this person, you're trying to work with this person or this coworker, and you are just kind of going out of your way to like make sure they're comfortable in their work. And then like, but every chance they get, they're either undermining you or making snide comments or saying something that kind of hurts your feelings. And that's very much the dynamic with Keanu and
Yeah.
Rachel. Keanu isn't really aware of this because he doesn't believe what Rachel says to him in the heat of the moment. But Rachel has been going to bat for Keanu a lot behind the scenes. She
Mhm.
did pull him aside week 1 and is like, hey, you're doing too much. They were going to put you up. I stopped it. Chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like they had that conversation. That was it. But she's continued to put in the work and continue to try to like befriend him and to like make inroads with him. For some reason, Keanu doesn't see it. He does not see it. He's very passive aggressive. He makes comments. I'm sorry. There's no fucking way you can't tell me the whole, like, let's talk about your season highlight reel was not innocent. If it was innocent, then he wouldn't recap it to other people, leaving out the insult parts.
Well, and also, I don't feel like Rachel Riley is difficult to read. Okay, she was like so clearly uncomfortable that it's like he had to know what he was doing, because he can't pretend he didn't know it upset her, because like she was clearly like, okay, cool.
I also agree with what Sammy said, though. Like, Rachel, you can read her like a book sometimes. When she is irritated and mad, she cannot hide that at all. So you would have seen it the instant that you
he's
flipped
definitely
that switch.
poking.
You would have seen it all over her face.
He's poking her with the intention of getting a Reagan-style reaction out.
Yes.
That's the part that irritates me.
And then he can play victim, and then she can look like a crazy person.
Yep.
And it's not working. She's standing her ground. She's not like blowing up, but she is defending herself. And I think that's irritating him more. But honestly, I think it's genuinely hurting her. I feel like her feelings are genuinely getting hurt.
Well, it's gotta be frustrating. Like, you know, she knew it was gonna be an uphill battle coming into the Big Brother house. Like, returners are, you know, notoriously gonna be targeted. But I think what's frustrating for Rachel, and it would be for me too, is that she is being trustworthy, and like no one is believing her, and like that's got to be frustrating, especially with someone like Keanu, who like she did go out of her way to protect, and like he's literally saying to her like, I don't trust you because you're Rachel Riley. And she's like, you're talking about,
she has said on the feed she is having the best experience in this house that she's had previous, that she's not an outcast. She does have people, she does have friends, which makes me even more irate to share the other drama in the house. Yesterday.
That's what makes it sadder.
I can't get over this. I'm so upset. Amy has a case of BB brain. Amy and Ashley have done the thing that so many humans do and found the bonding tactic of talking shit. And Ashley loves to talk shit. And Amy and Ashley have been talking shit about Rachel. It started off as just trying to distance ourselves a little bit so that we can separate our games. And then it turned into this is actually fun and a bonding experience for us. I feel like things are a lot more heightened in the Big Brother house. I am not calling them mean girls. I'm not saying it's bullying. I'm not saying any of those things. But last night, Rachel, searching high and low all through this house for a clue, for a power, for an advantage, tells the cameras at one point, she's trying to find something that will help my friend. She's trying to desperately find something to help get Amy off the block. That is cameras 3 and 4, while cameras 1 and 2 are Amy and Ashley in the hammock talking shit and making fun of Rachel and her house cleaning. I had flashbacks to the Taylor hoping Nicole's okay and praying for Nicole while Nicole talking shit about Taylor.
It's the lack, which this is a problem with not just Amy and Ashley, but this is like a really good example of it, is the fact that so many people in this house are unable to correctly read any situations at all. And they lack a lot of self-awareness, because while yes, there's a small part of your game that is being affected by your close proximity to Rachel, most of the problem is y'all being close together.
It's Ashley. Yeah. Ashley has more enemies in the house, far more enemies in the house than Rachel does.
Yeah.
No one likes living with Ashley. Ashley is a terrible roommate. Apparently, she's very messy. She is very passive aggressive. If you try to ask her to help with anything, the cooking and the cleaning, she's very abrasive. She doesn't read the room or even look through the room before she starts talking to somebody about. She puts people on the spot and could hurt their game. Ashley lacks a lot of tact. And Amy's proximity to Ashley Ashley, being who Ashley is, has made Jimmy too scared and saying it's too soon to put her up. Amy being put up is more of a, well, we can weaken Ashley's game, not really Rachel's.
I don't understand why he didn't put up Ashley and Amy together.
I've never understood
because
it.
then you get guaranteed one of them out. Like
Yes.
that is something the Blockbuster has not changed. You can put
If I had to, like,
no matter what, one of them is going home.
One of them's out. I feel like if I had to, like, try to get in Jimmy's mind, I feel like that would have been just a finite line in the sand with Rachel. Because I feel like that would be him saying, Rachel, I'm totally against you. I'm taking both your allies and putting them up.
That's true.
Where he's tried to sell Rachel on his reasoning for putting Amy up.
But see, if you are good at the social, like the socialization part of this game, you should be able to campaign to Rachel why Ashley and Amy would be a good idea. And one of the arguments you can make is that Amy is stealing or Ashley is stealing your final two.
Yeah.
And also Ashley kind of sucks in terms of like how the house views her. I don't think Rachel has a particularly like high like.
No, they got into it too.
Yeah, so
I say they got into it. Rachel made a comment about the house in general, and Ashley went and told everyone it was about her personally.
Right. Yeah. So I think if you have a good social game, you're able to explain that because you're already gonna do it. If he never put Amy up, I would get why he wouldn't put both of them up. You're already halfway there. Finalize it, create a new alliance for you and Rachel and whomever else, and keep it moving.
And honestly, with the Ashley thing, like there's enough people that believably you could have said, hey, a lot of people are just fed up with her. So, you know, I'm just doing what's appeasing the house because I've already had to nominate so many people, yada, yada, yada.
Exactly.
And keep the same reasoning for Amy that you've already given. And I think Rachel would have understood that. Honestly.
She would have pivoted to something,
For sure. Well, that brings us to now where the standings are. It has changed. It has changed a couple times this week. I don't see it changing again. Maybe. There are a few outcomes that may result in somewhat of a close vote if something changes. A day is a very long time in the Big Brother house. So Waffle Wednesdays are very much a thing every single year. We could be seeing that. But as it currently stands, Will is the most safe. Whether Will is next to Adrian or Amy, Will is safe and not going home. As it currently sits. Next in danger would be Adrian. If Adrian is next to Will, he goes home. If Adrian is next to Amy, it looks like Amy is going home.
It'll be close, yeah.
It has potential to be very, very close.
Yeah.
I feel like the girls really need to put in the work here, particularly with Catherine, who would then have Riley's ear, to talk about Adrian and his proximity, like how close he has gotten in these comps and how close he's gotten to winning. I feel like that is the best approach. That is the approach that Morgan has been taking. Ashley has brought it up a few times. It needs to be someone who is not Amy and Ashley conveying that, though. That needs to be seeds that is planted by Morgan or even Rachel. I feel like Rachel does a good job in those types of conversations. I feel like that's a conversation that you could even talk to Will about. That Will say he comes off the block and it's Adrian versus Amy. Adrian needs to be the one that goes. He needs to go if he's against you, if it's you and Adrian, or if it's Adrian and Amy. Adrian is the biggest comp threat. He needs to go. So I feel like you can get Will's vote there. He doesn't really have any ill will against Amy either. So I think that Will could be a solid vote to sway over if he's not on the block. Adrian, however, I don't see Adrian voting. Like Adrian is going to be solidly a vote for Will if the block ends up being Will and Amy.
Yeah.
And I do think Will would vote to get rid of Amy over Adrian.
No, as it stands right now, but I'm saying that there is a path to Will's ear to sway him.
Yeah.
That this is the moment, this is the time, and like maybe bring up past seasons where this particular situation has come up and they didn't get the comp beast out, they didn't get the competitor out. I feel like Will is rational enough to have those kinds of conversations without it backfiring too much. I definitely think, though, that Catherine and Riley are their path here. The girls banding together, get Catherine. Catherine will get Riley.
I don't think they're going to be able to get Catherine, though, because there's almost like a war between the women and Catherine. I think a lot of it has to do with, like...
By the way, most of the girls hate Catherine.
Yes, like the majority of them. Like, I don't know if there is one that doesn't. I think they are really misreading Catherine. And I think she doesn't help herself by, like... I mean, she is bitchy, but I love that. You know I love that.
No, I love it. No, I think it's a great thing. But the way they see it, they're like, she's kind of I don't think they're calling her mean girl. That she reminds them a lot of the girls they didn't like in high school. That's what they talk about a lot.
I can see that, and I definitely understand that. But to me, it feels a little misogynistic as well. Because it's like, first of all, I understand not wanting to trust Catherine, especially because of her proximity with Riley. They're like kind of always together, and like from an outside perspective, you know, the thing that makes the all women alliance fall apart quickly is the girl who's in a showmance or the potential to be in a showmance. So I understand why they would like want to isolate her from that alliance, but I also think that they are not thinking about how much they could use Riley. Like, if like he already voted with them, Kat has his ear. I understand not liking Kat, but I think if like Kat felt more included in some kind of an alliance, they could use this situation to their benefit. So for me, I'm like,
and I just like playing armchair, by the way. For the record, I don't think any of this is happening. I think if Amy is on the block, Amy is going home. If Adrian is next to Will, Adrian's going home. I don't think any of this is changing. I don't care what Waffle Wednesday brings. I think ultimately that's the way the cookie's going to crumble at the end. I just like to play armchair big brother and say that what I feel outsider looking in that has all the information, this is what they should do. This is how I would go about it. This is how I would pitch it. I don't think any of that's happening, though.
Agreed. I fully agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this, even though there's going to be, it's not going to be like a unanimous vote in any scenario. I think it's going to be a much more clear-cut plan from each side going into this vote than last week.
Yeah.
I also think this might be, like, we also have to see which way Rachel goes with it. Like, she can continue advocating for Amy and, like, doing all that, which she's going to have to. There's, like, really no other, like, she's going to have to. But one thing I really like about Rachel Riley is I do think she's adaptable.
So adaptable.
And so Amy leaving, I actually think might be better for her game.
Yes.
So actually, I did want to ask you guys about this. There were, like, you know how Amy's kind of been on the pity party train pretty much ever since yesterday. And there was a conversation that I was watching earlier on the feeds where Amy was really down about it. And it seemed like Rachel was finally like, okay, if this is how you're going to act, then like, cool, except that you're going home kind of situation. And then Amy got up to leave and Ashley was still there. And it was the most strategic game talk I had heard between Rachel and Ashley so far. And to me, that was her shifting her mind and saying, okay, instead of me working on saving Amy, it's time for me to pivot and work on restoring this relationship with Ashley so that I have, you know, my backup once Amy is gone.
Absolutely. Do you think Rachel's strategy here is to keep hiding behind a shield? Like, not hiding, but like having like her number two be the bigger target than she is?
There's that, yes, but also I feel like that maybe is a little bit of it, but I feel like the primary strategy Rachel has had is she has been utilizing her casting interview skills like a boss. The conversations she has are the most fascinating conversations, and they are not about her time on Big Brother, her sponsorships, her deals, anything else. They are about who she's talking about, and they are deep, hitting question. How did that shape you as a person? How do you think that that's affected you? They are the kind of questions that when that other person walks away from it, feels very connected to her, and she's not keeping it exclusive to Ashley and Amy. I saw this conversation with Ava.
That is true.
I saw these conversations. She had one today with Riley that was a religious conversation. She saw the way he lit up when he was talking about his faith, and she delved into that with some more with him. She's tried to do that with Keanu. That's why I think it's so frustrating, is that, like, I feel like none of it's surface level. I feel like this is genuinely who she is, and it's genuinely like how she gets to know people now. But I feel like when I'm watching these conversations, and I think if someone were talking to me this way, I would feel so close with that person. And I feel like whether it's strategy or not, I think it's definitely going to serve her. And that's why no one's looking at her. No one's talking about Rachel Riley, who was safe this week and able to be nominated, and still was not nominated, coming from Jimmy, who talked shit about her the second she walked in the door. He was like, "Right, she's got to go. She can't stay here." Like, and she turned it around.
Yeah.
I think at this point, honestly, if it were me in that house, and besides like taking my Rachel Riley bias out of it, I don't see how at least half of the people in that house aren't thinking, I need to sit in final two next to Rachel Riley. No one's going to vote for her because she already won, so they will vote for me.
Well, I think she undoubtedly has the best social game, and I have no criticism of that. And that, like I said, I didn't mean to say like hiding behind the target. I guess I've just been more confused on like why her like besties and like number twos in this game have been like the most divisive players in the game, like Amy, Ashley, and Jimmy. So part of me is like, is that deliberate? Like,
true,
because
I mean she attached to them before they were so polarized. That they hit it off before they became.
Yeah, because I mean, Jimmy
was very early.
Yeah, because Jimmy didn't tank his game until just this week. So, you know.
I don't know. I mean, I felt like I felt like last week he really should have just sat back and relaxed. I felt like he did way too much on somebody else's HOH, and that never bodes well long term.
But he didn't have as many enemies. For 2 weeks.
It does. Yeah, 100%.
Vince, okay, yeah, I can't even talk about Vince's HOH. Don't get me started. Just continue. Continue
on. Going back to Rachel's strategy, or like social game, sorry. I'm a member of Brittany's Patreon, and she has shared multiple times that some of the biggest advice that Dan has given her as far as any of these social strategy kind of games is make people want to talk to you about themselves. And Brittany has said that that is her weakest point anytime she plays any of these games, because she's like, I only want to talk to the people that I like get along with, relate to. And she's like, Dan doesn't do that. He will sit and have conversations and deep conversations with every single person. And I've heard her mention that a couple different times on different episodes of her Patreon podcast. And literally immediately, I think it was the conversation that Rachel had with Riley last week about the cows, where I was like, Rachel does not care about these cows, but she is listening. She is engaged. I was like, this is exactly what Dan and Brittany have been talking about, of like, just let them talk about themselves, and you're going to build that connection. And she's doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah. It's how therapists do it.
Yeah.
That's how therapists can charge you all that money to say, I have therapy in the morning. They charge you that money, and you are talking, they get you to tell them about with just a few like questions. And when you get in a lull, they know another question to give you. And then by the end of that, you feel better, you feel good, and you feel close to that person. So I feel like these are all, and the questions she's asking, like definitely casting questions. But I'm here for it. I love it. And I love to watch it. Everything about it. Watching her scrub the bathroom floors in skirt and heels.
Amazing. I love seeing her on our feeds. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing too for future Big Brother players. Rachel is an incredible roommate. She has been a have-not for 2 weeks. She volunteered for week 2, and to help Jimmy out and for weight loss reasons. But not only is she a have-not, she's still helping to cook. She is cleaning. She is scrubbing bathrooms. She has been an incredible roommate, which I think that a lot of people don't think too much about when they go on this game and when they go on the show. You still have to live with these people, and you have to be a good roommate. And Ashley, I think that's really where she's lacking, is that they're noticing those little things. And so as people are trying to find things to be irritated about, or they're just irritated because they're stuck in a house with 16 strangers, then, you know, those are the things that are going to stick out in your mind and are just going to get under your skin even more. So.
Yep. Fully agree.
Way to go, Rachel. She's crushing it. I hate that she won't win this sit show, but maybe she will. Maybe they're like so mystified by her by the end, or she takes someone to final 2 that everyone despises. Maybe she takes Keanu to final 2.
Hey.
And they're like, can't give it to Keanu.
Kelly.
That is going to be how Kelly wins. It's what Sammy is right. I believe it now, Sammy. I believe
manifesting. You're talking about manifesting on the feeds today, so
absolutely. I
am
the Kelly's fan base that she was talking about from the feeds.
Ghostbuster Sammy is now going to be Kelly Stan moving forward.
Yeah,
you need to change your profile picture to Kelly's.
Oh my god! I kind of hate when people do that.
Anyway, well, this has been so fun. I'm very excited. Coming up, we have the veto. We get to see the veto comp with Casey. We get to have the live eviction where all these things will shake out. And then we will pick up with another HOH on Sunday. So catch us next week. Hopefully we have a special guest with us. We'll see. You never know with us. But anyway, make sure that you are following us. We are all over TikTok, guys. I'm going to put our handles up. Just kidding. Doing it right now. There we go. There's our handles, but our panels are wrong. But Ghostbuster Sammy, Sarah Talks Reality, and Bookish TV. Nicolette, you did book talk too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
yep, on
I
the
love
off
that.
season.
But anyway, that's all we got. Make sure you're following. Please, please, please make sure that you like and subscribe. Turn on alerts so that you never miss any of our episodes. And leave us comments. This app, YouTube, loves comments. So please put in our comment section. Ask us questions. Tell us who you want to see on the pod. Do whatever. Tell us you love us. Tell us we suck. Just tell us something. Either way, we love you guys. Thank y'all so much. And have a good night. Bye.
Bye.